What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Paige threatening to quit WWE as she breaks down on stream, the reason behind WWE changing Matt Riddle's name, Karl Anderson caught cheating, Vince comments on low ratings, an NXT superstar was unhappy and went straight to Triple H, Chavo Guerrero as a clan member, Roman Reigns' next opponent, a multi-part documentary on Vince McMahon coming to Netflix, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Our first story looks at Paige threatening to quit WWE after breaking down on a stream. The WWE's decision to make its superstars turn their Twitch and Cameo accounts over to them so they can profit from them has not gone over very well, and while some superstars are complying, one in particular is making it clear she plans to fight it. Recently, Paige made her case on her Twitch stream and at one point breaking down and crying.
Now I have to make a very important decision. Quiet, man. I understand if they're like, hey, if you're wrestling every day, if you're doing these shows every day and you're on TV constantly, that's fine, but I'm a injured wrestler. I cannot wrestle anymore. I get used for media stuff sometimes, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm in my fucking house. I'm going crazy, dude. I need something to keep me fucking sane, man. Which was my escape from that.
The former Divas champion is furious right now, but she will do anything about a discuss with the WWE's policy one sees as unfair to superstars who are being forced to give up a source of revenue at a time when wrestlers' pay is down due to no house shows. Paige's mother tweeted her support saying, "Make a change, stand firm. You know what's right, you have the backing, be heard." Now, some superstars are protesting the WWE's new policy regarding Twitch and Cameo by shutting down their Twitch streams, and as of this report, AJ Styles, Mia Yim, Cesaro, Aleister Black, and Zelina Vega have taken down their accounts, with Wrestling News' Paul Davis arguing these wrestlers are hoping that cooler heads can prevail after a meeting with WWE management tomorrow. Now, also according to a post on Reddit, they've also asked Lita to shut her stream down. Like she ain't even a full-time wrestler. More to the point, in the case of Paige, she's not even using her WWE trademarked name. So why should the WWE have a problem with it? What do you guys think of this policy? Is it fair? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Karl Anderson caught cheating? Now this one's a little bit of a weird one, and we don't want to jump to any conclusions as wrestlers are known to work its fans. But Karl Anderson's wife recently posted this photo up with the words cheater written multiple times on his face, and the caption, "I don't play nice." Now many have thought that this has to do with them playing Monopoly, as there's not much context behind it, as both husband and wife are very competitive. But then things got a little bit strange as Karl Anderson posted up a photo with the caption that read, "Yo, if you liked or commented on that pic she posted without knowing the story, you're out of my life, end of story. Talk when I can, guys, nothing but love." Again, this could just be Karl Anderson working us, as this could just be over a Monopoly game. Maybe next time don't cheat then. Monopoly gets people pissed when you cheat. Karl Anderson then replied, "I didn't, bud. F you, you're blocked." Kinda sounds like a fight over Monopoly, but what a weird way to explain things when people can jump to conclusions very quickly on social media. Not that they probably care, but still. Next up, the reason behind WWE changing Matt Riddle's name. The WWE likes to change wrestlers' names, as seen with the WWE changing Buddy Murphy to Murphy, Mustafa Ali to Ali, and then back to Mustafa Ali, and now Matt Riddle to just Riddle. In the past, these name changes have often been explained as making it easier for fans to recognize wrestlers, and while that's up to debate, Riddle's name change is apparently due to Vince McMahon's new confidence in the Ultimate Bro. Fightful Select is reporting that Vince McMahon was impressed with Riddle's recent match against Sheamus and was complimentary after it closed to those involved. Matt is rumored to be set for a push as well as a shift to a more serious character. Next up, Vince comments on the low ratings. Vince McMahon has been accused of living in a bubble where he's isolated from reality, whether it's the quality of the WWE product or what fans are interested in watching. Don't believe us? Consider a recent comment from McMahon during the WWE's Q3 earnings report about the WWE's audience size and low ratings. When you look at television ratings, that's what they are. With us, it's one of our many measurements. When you look at total, when you get into YouTube, etc., we have far more fans now than we've ever had. When you look at television ratings, it is what it is. Not to say we don't want to increase them, of course we do. Aside from that, our total audience is much bigger, so you can't just hang your hat on ratings are down. Considering the continued drop in ratings for Raw and SmackDown this year, it's difficult to agree with McMahon's statement. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Next up, Jake Hager is undefeated in Bellator. Congratulations to AEW star Jake Hager, who remains undefeated in the Bellator MMA promotion. The Inner Circle's strongman had a tough fight against former Pittsburgh Steeler Brandon Kelton, but he won via split decision. Hager is still undefeated, but his win is controversial as he inadvertently landed a low blow on his opponent, causing a pause in the match. This isn't the first time Hager has done this, and he was disqualified in a previous match for doing this. Next up, NXT superstar Xia Li was unhappy and went to Triple H. NXT superstar Xia Li was apparently unhappy with the WWE, with Fightful Select reporting she was scheduled to compete in a kickboxing event but didn't tell the WWE about it. When they learned about it, they pulled her from the event, something which angered her, who was reportedly already upset with her push in the company. Lee reportedly went straight to Triple H, asking to know what was wrong. While there was no word on how the talk went, Triple H is said to have appreciated the initiative and that Xia Li feels she can hold her own if given the chance. Next up, Chavo Guerrero as a clan member? The hell? The WWE's history of handling storylines with ethnic minorities has often been criticized, but wait until you hear about an idea that almost made it to television. During a chat with Chris Van Fleet, former WWE superstar Chavo Guerrero discussed his short run as the character Kerwin White. You may recall Chavo adopted the persona of a Hispanic man who acted as a stereotypical Caucasian. Guerrero explained how he was initially hesitant about portraying the character, but he said if he was going to do it, he wanted to go all in. He mentioned, "I had a meeting with Vince and said, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. I'm supposed to be a brown guy playing a white guy, saying this is how you white guys are." They would say no. The Hispanics hated me because I was denouncing my Mexican heritage, and the whites because I was making fun of them. I said this, "It's not how we dress." And I'm like, oh yes you do. Chavo's old school mentality mandated that heels get so much heat that the fans would try to hurt them. Guerrero devised the perfect way of doing so and told McMahon, "I want to come out in a white sheet." He said, "Yeah, I love it." Of course, we never did that because it got too risque and a little too racist for a network. Sounds bonkers in our opinion, but it's not the only time a clan member appeared in wrestling. Remember Jim Neidhart? Actually, let's not remember that. Next up, a multi-part documentary on Vince McMahon coming to Netflix. Vince McMahon has had one hell of a life story, rising from life in a trailer park to becoming a self-made billionaire and the king of professional wrestling, or as he likes to call it, sports entertainment. Now the public will get a chance to see McMahon's life story told on screen. The WWE announced this during their Q3 earnings report. The latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter is reporting WWE Studios is developing more new content, and in particular mentioned Netflix has ordered a multi-part documentary on Vince McMahon that will be produced by Bill Simmons, a longtime WWE fan who produced HBO's Andre the Giant documentary, which was a huge rating success. Khan noted it would be one of the highest budgets ever for a Netflix documentary. Vince McMahon has shared snippets of his life in interviews, but there remain many unanswered questions about his rise to the top. The biggest question is how much McMahon will honestly open up about his life, including some of the controversial moments we've covered in our final Bell series, such as McMahon's alleged #MeToo moments. Next up, Roman Reigns' new opponent. Now that Roman Reigns has defeated Jey Uso, what's next for the Universal Champion? That's a good question, and one Dave Meltzer recently addressed in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, noting, who else does Reigns have? Owens can work and talk, and there's Rey Mysterio, but Bryan, if he was correctly pushed right now, should be more effective as a title challenger than they are. Lars Sullivan is getting the monster push, and you can do a heel versus heel program at some point, but that shouldn't be for months. Meltzer noted the WWE dropped the ball by mishandling Daniel Bryan's return, arguing Bryan was brought back seemingly as a mid-card face in the crowd on the number 2 babyface tag team on the brand. Who would you like to see Roman defend the belt against? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, who decided to split the New Day? Now Big E is now enjoying a singles push on SmackDown while his New Day teammates Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are competing on the Red brand. But whose idea was it to separate the popular group? During a chat with the Gorilla Position podcast, Big E revealed, "Also, I have to give credit to Daniel Bryan. The idea for the solo run was from him. Like, Bryan is the reason. He's not just like, hey Big E, but he's actually a part of the process. He's the one who said, hey, this is what we should do with Big E, so he's been behind that, and for that I'm grateful, but it feels like an environment where I do have a voice." Now, the WWE is taking a chance by separating the group, but if Big E succeeds as a single star, it will be a great step for him, and there's no reason the New Day can't reunite on one brand in the future. But there you have it, guys. The wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.